Evening. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us for another live stream in our Women's Wellness Series. I'm Sister Only Shashette, and we have Sister Ajay Vura. Sister Ajay, how are you?
Greetings, greetings. I am okay. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm
That's
always
good.
I'm always coming back to the present moment. In this moment, I am excited and doing
Mm-hmm.
well. I'm excited about our topic. Our
Okay.
topic in our wellness series. Greetings, greetings, Barbara. Thank you for joining us. The wellness of BeYouty, inside and out. That's our topic for this evening.
Share.
Oh, Sister Sabrina, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Peace, peace and love, sis. Peace and love.
All right. Well, Sister Ajay, now, as I was contemplating on this topic, there's
Mm-hmm.
so many layers of it. When we
Mm-hmm.
talk about beauty, okay, um, and we talk about beauty with melanated sisters in terms
Mm-hmm.
of how do we how do we see ourselves? Maybe that's a starting point. Uh, how do we see ourselves, and what images of beauty are we representing? Um, that, as I contemplated on the topic, I thought about the images that were available to me when I was a child and I was a teenager. And many of those images did not look like me, especially when I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
So when we contemplate, when we remember, when we really think about this, you know, how, you know, whose images of beauty are we representing?
That's right. That's right.
Whose images of beauty are we aspiring to be?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, what do we think beauty is? Those are some questions that I think that we might not often ask ourselves, but they are
Very
important
important.
questions to to unpack. When we talk
Yes.
about women's wellness,
Mm-hmm.
it, now we're coming to the point where we're getting into um, internally how we think about ourselves, which leads to decisions that we make, which
Mm-hmm.
leads to dis-ease. If
Internal.
those,
Yes.
right, internal dis-ease, if those decisions are not wholesome, holistic, and in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sister Ajay, how do you know, jump in here? Because, what I just said alone has some layers. So
Right.
let's see where we want to start our discussion this evening.
Well, first and foremost, um, I don't think, I feel that beauty is definitely the definition of the beholder.
Hmm.
Is a definition of the beholder. I also feel that that is not what we were exposed to, like you started off saying. We're subliminally given um, images of beauty. And then because we're given those images of beauty through advertisements, through what the world deems as beauty, fashion, modeling, all of the external, that is what people validate themselves or have become to validate their beauty against or compare it to. But really, for me, I remember this saying from way back in the day, that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I remember that. And, you know, older people used to just say things, and you be like, what is you talking about? But now as we gotten older and I really ponder using meditation on what does that really mean? Beauty is in the
Mhm.
eye of the beholder. And I would be first to say that it's what I see within myself.
Mhm.
It's what beauty is what I see within me and what's beautiful about me. I think that is a good place to start. Definitely as we reprogram, we deprogram and reprogram our psyche about honoring who we are and what we look like
Mhm.
and what our values are and, our gifts and our talents. Not so much what the world deems valuable or beautiful.
Absolutely.
And so
Mhm.
that's why I advise you, I wanted to spell beauty, BUT, because first and foremost, beauty, if we break everything down, it's be you.
Be
It's
you.
be you when we want to break it down. It means be you. So what about you is beautiful? Because
Mhm.
only you have it. Only you
Mhm.
have it. You don't, and no one has you. You're the only one that was created as you,
Mhm.
and so with that being said, you have to go in and find out what makes you feel good about you. And I think that's a conversation as Black women, we don't spend enough time with how we really see ourselves and what we really feel good about ourselves. We're always made to critique and criticize, sometimes sabotage what we look like, you know, against what the American, exposure of beauty is, or what their details around what makes things beautiful, or what makes a person beautiful. And we begin to measure ourselves according to the world
Mhm.
instead of looking within and finding the beauty within ourselves, or the beauty within us that only you know that you have, that only you know that you have. And then you express that by many means, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, your habits, the way you interact with people, the way you treat people, the way you speak to people. Beauty comes in a lot of different ways.
Mhm.
And we were only really exposed to what the world deems as physical beauty. And that is something that we must change.
Absolutely. As you were talking, what a lot of things came up, but what came up, let me see if I could put it into words, is when we talk about sisters asking what is my own beauty, I
Mm-hmm.
think, or what is beautiful about me.
Mm-hmm.
I think about taking it a little bit deeper, because some of the some of the places that we get stuck in might not really see the beauty without props. And what I mean by props is, well, I feel beautiful when I get my hair done a certain way, or
Mm-hmm.
when I put my makeup on. That's when I feel beautiful. Um, but if we asked ourselves, what is the creative expression that's uniquely me
Mm-hmm.
of myself? That's a little different
Yes.
because what what we ask ourselves, we'll get an answer for. What is the creative expression that is uniquely me?
Mm-hmm.
And that really gives us the opportunity to begin to free ourselves from what we've been told beauty is.
Yes.
I had a couple of different flashes going on. And I'm thinking about a sister that I knew probably 30 years ago. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember, we used to go out sometimes on the weekends, go to each other's houses, you know. And there was one time that she left her makeup at my house. I didn't know that, but she called me and
Mm-hmm.
she was hysterical.
Mm.
So I I can't come out the house. I need to go somewhere. You have to come over right away and bring it. And I hadn't thought about this in years. So when you think about when things come up, you know that that's what's supposed to come through. I did not have this memory in many, many years. Probably didn't think about it. The last time I thought about it is probably when it happened.
Okay.
And when I went to take it to her, she was really, really seriously terrified to come out without makeup on. She
Wow.
did not see the beauty in her dark skinned self,
Mm-hmm.
and was having a real anxiety moment. And I'm feeling like this came up because this is common with many of us. We may not even know exactly where it comes from because we
Mm-hmm.
get messaging from certainly the images that are presented to us in the overall society that we live within, even images of ourselves that's presented to us that
Mm-hmm.
may not necessarily be our beautiful self. Okay. And there's the other side of it is did what did the people who were around you tell you about your beauty or not tell you about beauty when you were growing up? It's two things that happen at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I was a child and a teenager, being dark skinned wasn't beautiful. That was clear. That wasn't the clear choice.
Right.
The messaging was real. Was if you were dark skinned, that's not, that wasn't the standard of beauty.
Right.
If
Right.
you were right, Sister Antisha, yes, so now we go a little deep, they added things that you so black, you so
Mm-hmm.
black and ugly.
Yep.
Like, kids calling each other, you a tar baby, so if you're dark skinned, and let's not
Mm.
even go to the hair, your hair is nappy. These were the things that we said to ourselves
And
or
it
we heard.
traumatized. And it traumatized.
Absolutely. It,
Mm-hmm.
it traumatized. So when I think of that sister friend, she was beautiful inside and out, extremely creative. She could have come out of her house without any makeup on, but not not be like she couldn't because of the trauma, because of the messaging, wherever it may have come from, right? And a part of what meditation does, again, is it helps you to begin to see yourself differently.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, when I came, when I got out of being a teenager and I came into my 20s, that's when I really began to um, tap into my inner self. When I started to meditate, I started to meditate at age 26, and that practice, along with crystal healing and some of the other modalities that I did, helped me to be more comfortable with expressing myself, my physical self, from the um, ex- images, or what wanted to express itself through me,
Mm-hmm.
which was not necessarily what the images of what they said that we should look like should be. I think of something else. Again, I haven't thought of these things for years. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let you kind of jump off of it. I had an aunt. We were both dark skinned. She was an elderly aunt. Um, so, my father used to drop me off and, let me visit this aunt. And let's say between the ages of maybe 6 and 8, or 6 and 9, as soon as my father left, here she would come.
Mm-hmm.
Your nose is too big. Look how big your nose is. You pulling my nose. Now she was the same complexion as me, actually, as I remember. She was darker than me. And at that young age, a nose was a nose. Like, and it took me a little bit. I wanted to, we couldn't talk back to adults then.
Right.
I wanted to tell her, leave me alone. And I think I got to be about 8 or 9 when I said to my mother, please, I don't want to go to Aunt such and such house anymore. Because she's
Mm-hmm.
always pulling my nose and telling me that my nose is too wide. Now her nose was also, we family, right?
Right.
And I think about that. That's coming up now. That's very traumatic. You've got a family member, female
Mm-hmm.
family member that looks like you, that's telling you something's wrong with your nose. I'm going to say one more. I was in my 20s. So now by the time I got in my 20s, you could say what you want to say because I already know. Like now I accepted my
You've
dark
evolved.
skin, my wide nose, and my
Right.
nappy hair, and I understood that it was beautiful, right? So here's my maternal grandmother, who I didn't grow up with, but I was getting to know because she was in Barbados. My maternal grandmother, I was visiting her, and I had come back from the beach. I was supposed to see my uncle. Yeah, during the formative years, I was supposed to see my uncle. He was coming to pick me up. And she said to me, you need to put some white powder on your face because your face is too black. She was absolutely serious. She
Mm.
was not joking. So now, I'm a woman. I had a voice. I remember telling her, with all due respect, Granny, and I do respect you, you're my grandmother. I said, you don't get to tell me that. There's nothing wrong with my face. There's something wrong with how you're thinking that you're telling me to cover my skin with white
Mm.
because you think I'm too black. So you know, I'm sure that if we, hear other sisters' stories, that there might have been other ways, other
Mhm.
experiences where our own
People.
people are telling us that we're not beautiful.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, Sister Sabrina. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I did it respectfully, but you could say I put her in her place and gave her a little lesson about Africa and why she was thinking that way, even though
Right.
she was my grandmother. But I did it respectfully. But yeah, those things, as we cover this topic, when you um, take the time to go within, when you take the time to make the time for yourself, it will help you to heal um, how you see about yourself, how you see yourself, if
Right.
it is not in alignment with who you really are, because each of us are beauty. There's beauty in all of us.
Absolutely.
There's beauty in all creation, even if we might not see it. And this is part of what we need to do as melanated sisters, to begin to love ourselves, and compliment ourselves, and how would I say, um, begin to redefine and look
Yeah.
for the beauty within ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's when you talk about those traumatizing stories, and
Hmm.
you were, as you were speaking, I heard you say a couple times, like, I haven't talked about this since then, or I
Hmm.
haven't remembered this since then. That is allowing us to really acknowledge that things stay in us a very long
Hmm.
time. We may not speak on it. Of course, we move on in life, we grow older, but those childhood traumas, especially
Hmm.
when it's around the subject of beauty, they really have a long lasting effect on a lot of women. I talk to a lot of women, I've come in contact with a lot of women, and a lot of women, when they were young, was not told that they were beautiful.
Hmm.
Especially what you were speaking on is the color,
Hmm.
the light skin, dark skin construct. That is a very, very necessary conversation amongst women in these days and times, because you have a
Hmm.
lot of darker skinned women who that is part of their story. They
Hmm.
were told that
Absolutely.
they were too dark, they were ugly, they were black, and like you said, not to bring in the hair. If your hair wasn't, what people would say, good hair, you might get some more compliments. But if you were dark and your hair was thick and what they call nappy, oh my gosh, it was
Right.
a real um traumatizing situation. And I can remember, as we are talking about, inner child and childhood traumas around beauty, I could remember a lot of, this is my journey, a lot of dark skinned little girls that they were the bullies. They were the ones
Mm-hmm.
who had a lot of aggression. They were the ones that was always trying to fight. Coming up in my era, I had
Hmm.
a lot of fighting to do, because I was lighter skinned, because I had light eyes, because of this, things that I couldn't control. You know what I'm saying? I'm just young and trying to be friends with people. And I noticed that at a young age, this was like elementary school, that a lot of the darker little girls would have a lot of aggression and a lot of anger around them feeling, I guess, ugly. I know now what it was, but I didn't
Hmm.
understand what it was at that age. And I say, wow, I used to come home to my mom like, wow, why does these girls so hateful? Why are they so mean? Why? But it was part of what you were saying. They were not
Mhm.
being told that they were beautiful. Um, and they were not being taught or exposed to internal beauty. Because again, for me, beauty is a feeling.
Mhm.
It's a feeling within. You know, when you feel beautiful, you look beautiful.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Your hair may not be, you may have not just came from the salon. You might not have had all the external beauty that people spend a lot of money on nowadays, but sometimes you just run into women that's just beautiful inside,
Mhm.
and there's a light around them. There's
Mhm.
a power around them that's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I've been around women, they say, girl, I look a mess. Like,
Mhm.
even after you tell them that they look beautiful, they'll follow it up, be like, girl, my hair ain't done. Girl, I came out the house and they'll go into like a critique. And it always makes me, be aware that we always second guess. And I know that sometimes when people give you compliments, some women are not accepting of those compliments.
Mhm.
Like, that's a real thing that I notice, in the midst of Black women. It's like when somebody tells someone that they're beautiful, or girl, your light is glowing, or your light is shining. It'd be like, girl, you don't know what I've been going through. It's
Right.
like you try
Right.
to
Take it down. Don't
take it
accept
down
it.
and
Yeah.
demeaning, and it allows us to really sit with. We really have to value the beauty that we have and know that beauty comes from within. It's a feeling that you have about yourself. It's a wholeness, it's a completion. It's not, all of the outside external details that people associate beauty with. Um it's one reason why I really went natural. It's a lot. I test myself on a lot of things, but it was one reason when I went natural, when I left relaxers alone. And I was like, you know what? I just want to see myself without my hair slicked and laid to the side.
Mhm.
I just want to see my natural beauty, and see if I still accept all of the wonderfulness that I feel about myself. See if I still look at myself from that perspective. That was one of the reasons. And I love when I see women when they're in their natural beauty. It's
Mhm.
coming back now from the 60s and
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
where women are just really showing up in their natural beauty. And that allows you to know that we are evolving in a different way. We're
Mhm.
coming away from, what this world's standards of beauty is, and really standing in our truth of what our beauty is. And that's very
Absolutely.
important that we know the truth about our own beauty, because I feel like if we keep trying to aspire to what the world says beauty is, we'll never feel like we're enough. We'll never feel like we're enough.
Mhm.
And we have to know that we are more than enough. Like, we are the SHITI double double. When we were little girls, we
Yeah.
used to have all of these little sayings. But I feel like if that wasn't stripped from us, we probably, from not all of us, but some of us, if that wasn't traumatized and stripped from us, we would be very different women.
Yes. Yeah.
Very different women. And that is why we're having this conversation, because I think the biggest thing for me is for each woman to always define her definition of beauty.
Mhm.
Your standard of beauty or your definition of beauty may not be what my definition is
Mhm.
of beauty for me, but that doesn't mean that your beauty is not valid.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
some women don't have to do all of the external things that this world says is beautiful. They just good with how they're naturally beauty. They're natural
Mm,
beauty. That's it. That's enough for them. And I have a high respect for women who can walk in their confidence and courage, and they don't necessarily look like Vogue or
mhm,
look like the Mademoiselle magazine or the latest and greatest of whatever they're projecting beauty to be. I
mhm,
love the diversity and the versatility of Black women's beauty. I absolutely love it. I adore it because it comes in so many flavors. It
mhm,
comes in so many ways. And it just allows us to know that the Most High is just so much. I don't even think you could put a name on what all the Most High has created within us as Black women, as melanated women. Our souls are beautiful, our spirits are beautiful, our minds are
mhm,
beautiful. Like, it's not only an external thing in the face, it's how we light up when, we talk, and when we're really happy and proud of our children, and in celebration. It's so many things that's beautiful about us. But I feel like we have to, like what you were saying, we have to redefine what
mhm.
beauty really is to us, and then be that.
And be
It
that.
doesn't have to be what somebody else
Yeah.
definition is, but be that what you determine beauty is. I think that's the biggest self-love, self-care um attribute of Black women, is to define yourself,
Mhm, mhm.
validate yourself, you know,
Mhm.
compliment yourself. Compliment
Compliment
yourself
yourself.
every day. Every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
You are a compliment to this world. You matter. You mean everything to this universe. And without us, there would be nothing.
Mhm,
Literally. Without melanated sisters, without Black women, this world could not rotate on its axis at all. Everything will come to
mhm,
a standstill, if we did not exist. We just must exist in our own state of beauty and stand on it. So that was the reason why I, definitely wanted to bring this conversation to the forefront and definitely meditate on it, because we don't talk about beauty enough.
yeah,
We talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
external beauty a lot. Girl, what kind of lipstick you got on? What kind of makeup that is? Who did your hair? Where you get your
Mhm,
nails did? Like that kind of thing. But we really don't sit around and have conversations about what our internal definition of being
mhm.
beautiful, being you, being you,
Being you.
um, is. And I would like, people in the audience to be able to sit with that, because that's going to be what we meditate on, is what is beauty to me? What is my
Mhm,
definition
mhm,
of beauty? And that's all I have to be. I don't have to be anyone else's definition. I don't. I only have to make sure I live up to my definition of what beauty is for me. And long as I'm doing that, I'm beautiful.
mhm. Ooh, while you were talking, I thought about two things. I again, traumatic messaging. Girl, you too Black to be out in the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
You too Black.
Mhm.
So you hear that when you're young. You too Black to be out in the sun. Okay, right? But one of the, I guess I would say, healing highlights for me was to discard that programming and really begin to experience how beautiful I felt with the sun on my skin.
Mm.
That the I remember I used to write poems, and I remember I wrote a poem about the sun kissing my skin all over.
Mm.
You know, um, and the other. thing is the sun. So I guess we could get into why the sun can make you feel like that if you surrender to being in the sun is our melanin. Like the very thing that they tell us is lacks beauty is the very thing that illuminates us.
Mm.
And I remember like coming up, like the sun thinks I'm beautiful. The
Yes.
ocean that does it like the ocean. I had that experience going into the ocean that there's no judgment of the sun. There's no judgment in the ocean. There's no judgment in the wind. Why are we not seeing that? And I think it's a journey, really. It
Yes.
is a journey that we have to decide to make. I know one of the things that I used during that time, time with the grandma, during that period of time,
Uh-huh.
I was in my 20s. I also had discovered crystals. So I remember very intentionally doing work with rose quartz and ylang ylang
Mm-hmm.
oil to put myself in an energetic space to receive what beauty wanted to express through me. And it
Mm-hmm.
really is quite liberating when you understand that, hey, wait a minute, wait a minute. If I had grown up, perhaps where I came from, all of what I'm being told is ugly is beautiful. It's
Mm-hmm.
because I and we grew up in an oppressive society that has, well, I would say, any dominant culture that's ruling other cultures, of course, they're going to say that they are the best and, and
Absolutely.
make themselves be the standard of beauty. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to redefine that and unpack that
Yes.
to be able to really come into, I was talking about this earlier, come into my aunt, come into balance with
Mm.
embracing Oshun's gift to us. Oshun doesn't have one standard of beauty. Oshun represents beauty
Yes, as a whole.
as a whole.
Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of the times, if we begin intentional work to heal those traumas. I did some healing work with it, and I know that healing never, there's never too much of it. You can always, how I would say, embrace more of it. And I think that we as women need to put that into part of our if we would say part of what we need to address when we talk about women's wellness and
Mm-hmm.
dis-ease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a topic that we could talk about. There's so many layers of it. We got, comments to sisters commenting on experiences, with here. Sister Barbara, she gave us a comment that she was made to feel uncomfortable because people told her she had good hair. So
Mm-hmm.
then now in our community, that's going to make you be the object of the bullies. Of
Yep.
so it's deep. There's a lot that we can unpack. It may be, definitely more than we can cover at this time. But since we've been talking about it, Sister Ajay, take
Mm-hmm.
us into our beautiful meditation so we can begin to look inside of ourselves for our if I would say beauty boost up.
Yes. We're going to do a different type of meditation this evening. And I want to do some beautiful affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
I just want people to speak beauty over their life, speak beauty within themselves. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times we don't do that. We don't do that. And every day you should speak beauty into yourself, no matter if you see it or you don't see it. No matter if you feel it at the particular time or you don't feel it at the particular time, because we know that life shows up in ways that may not be as beautiful from day to day, but we still have to stand on the beauty of our souls, the beauty that created us as sentient beings. The God within
Mm-hmm.
us is beautiful. The God within us is beautiful. We can see it in the sky, we can see it in the sun, we can see it in the moon, we can see it in the trees. We see beauty all around us,
Mm-hmm.
and we are a part of that beauty. We're a part of that. And that's why it's so, so very important to be connected with nature.
Mm-hmm. I say.
Because when you talk about the ocean, when you talk about how the sun kisses our skin, when you talk about a cool breeze,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about your feet on some cool grass and how you feel, you feel beauty.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, this world is not set up or structured or designed for us to stay in that beautiful feeling, that beautiful vibration, a beautiful mindset. That's what meditation does for me. It allows me to remove everything that this world is showing me and tap into what I know is beautiful, what I feel beautiful is, and staying with that. I can always go to beauty in through meditation. And so I definitely want to, excuse me, somebody was trying to call me, but I definitely want everyone to close their eyes. Just close their eyes. Just take a deep breath in. A real deep breath, a powerful deep inhalation from the soles of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. And I want you to feel what beauty feels like to you. I want you to give yourself the feeling of beauty, knowing that you have the power to give yourself beauty, not so much see beauty through your physical eye, but feel beautiful inside. And I just want us to speak some affirmation over our lives. And you don't just speak it to yourself as you're deeply breathing within 4 seconds. You're holding at the top of your crown 4 seconds. And you're exhaling through your mouth 4 seconds. You're breathing through your diaphragm. You're not breathing through your lungs. You're taking a deep breath. And I just want you to repeat these words after me. I have the right to put my healing first. I have a right to dignify and respect myself. I have the right to speak my truth. I have the right to live in my own values. I have a right to say no when I feel unsafe. I have the right to honor myself. I have the right to have my needs and wants accepted. I have the right to my needs and wants. I have the right to terminate any negative conversations that bring me shame. I have the right to terminate any negative conversation that bring me shame. I am not responsible for my mother's pain. I am not responsible for my mother's pain. I am not responsible for my mother's pain. I have the right to live in my truth. I have the right to be angry when things don't go my way. I have the right to have my boundaries respected. You're just continuing to breathe as you see yourself through all of these affirmations. This is just us speaking into the beauty within, things that may have traumatized us, things that may have occurred in our inner child that has taken away from our innocence and our beauty is what we're speaking now, these affirmations. We're reprogramming our psychological mind to define our beauty again. I have a right to make decisions based on my true feelings about me. I have the right to stand in my greatness. I have the right to have my own personal space. I have a right to change and grow. I have a right to be in a non-abusive environment. I have the right to forgive others on my terms when I am ready. I have a right to trust others who earn my trust. I am willing to receive the beautiful support that I need from me. I honor and value my needs. I am enough. I am worthy, and so it is, and so it shall be. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. So continue to breathe. Remember, we said at the beginning of the series for Melanated Soul Talk about meditation, there's different ways to meditate. You don't always have to have music on. You don't always have to close your eyes. You don't always have to sit in a prayer position. You can meditate with affirmations. And so these are beautiful affirmations for wounded daughters. And when I had my sister read them a couple days ago, because I'm working with her on reinstilling beauty within yourself, no matter what life may look like, you still deserve to feel beautiful, to be beautiful, to think beautiful, to speak beautiful, no matter what. No matter what life is showing you, you are still a beautiful person. Nothing and no one can ever change that but you. You're the only one that can ever change how beautiful you feel how beautiful you may speak, how beautiful you show up to the world. You're the only one that can change that. So beauty, it comes from within the soul. It comes from within your sacred being. It comes from within the depth of your being. And so sometimes when you're not feeling beautiful, you can just speak beauty into your life by just reaffirming and confirming with affirmations. You can write your own beautiful affirmations about yourself or about your definitions about beauty. And you can repeat them every day to yourself. This is not about anyone else. Your beauty is only about you. It's only about you. It's about being exactly who the great creator created you to be, and being that only to the best of your ability. And so as you continue to breathe sacredly, inhaling in, smiling in your heart, smiling in your mind, smiling in your soul, and just give yourself the feeling of what it feels to be beautiful. And you can tap into this beauty anytime, any day, whenever you're feeling ashamed or angry or resentful or unloving or unforgiving of yourself. And you want to feel like, I'm not beautiful, I don't have this, I don't have that. That's the time that you can definitely speak affirmations of beauty within your own soul and within yourself. So as we continue to breathe, taking your last deep breaths in and holding and exhaling out the mouth, and letting go anything that has disrupted your beauty, your feelings of beauty, your thoughts of beauty. If you're not speaking your words of beauty into your life every day, release that on your exhale. As we journey through this week after this meditation, continue to meditate on what is my definition of beauty within. Not anything that I see externally, but what is my definition of beauty within my own self? And speak that over your life every day. Whatever that is, I am powerful. I am love. I am light. I am prosperous. I am abundant. I am joy. I am harmony. I am peace. I am love. I am gratitude. Just find words, beautiful words to speak into your existence. And the way that the universal law works is everything we say, we can manifest. And as you continue to think and feel and breathe beauty in, feel the beauty within, and release anything that disrupts or disturbs your beauty. And you can slowly, slowly open your eyes. If you need to stay a little extra time with making that transition and coming out of that beautiful feeling that's in your mind, or that beautiful feeling that you feel in your soul, the beautiful feeling that you may feel in your heart, come out of it at your own time. But you can slowly open your eyes Welcome back, beautiful people. Welcome back, beautiful souls. Welcome back. This life can be so beautiful for us. It really, really can. But there's some things that we must change within ourselves to create that beauty in our lives. Our lives doesn't have to be chaotic. They don't have to be traumatizing. They don't have to be frustrating. We don't have to be in survival mode. We don't have to be in fight and flight. We can lead and live very beautiful lives, all of us. And that is why we come together in this sister circle to acknowledge, how do we change that? How do we transform that? How do we recreate that? How do we reinvent the lives that we know that we deserve to live? Thank you, sister. But it's our time to start living beautifully. It really, really is. I want it so, so, so much that I stay on it constantly, because I know the more we focus on a thing, the more that we can manifest that exact thing that we're focusing on. And we, out of anybody on this planet, we deserve to live beauty inside and out.
Absolutely. It is our time. It is our time, Barbara, in so many different ways. Um, a couple of things came up for me during the meditation. Um, if we begin to focus on adornment,
Mm,
I don't want to say as opposed to makeup, but
mm,
when we think about, I don't want to say as opposed to makeup because I am not, I do not want anyone to feel like, oh, but I use makeup and, she's saying, I use a little bit sometimes myself, but
mm,
adornment, focus on that word. A
mm.
queen is adorned.
Yes.
She is not made up.
Mm,
She is adorned. An adornment of a queen is in many different ways. It's in the bath. It's in the smells, the scent of the room. It's in the scent that is put on her. It is in the jewels that she wears. It's the colors that she wears. And if we think about adornment, how can I adorn myself today
mm.
is going to express on a higher vibration. And the other thing that came to me, so I got to speak it because it came through me. A friend of mine gave me a mirror. She always likes to send these little things in the mail. And
Mm,
she had taken a mirror that she got from somewhere and put like little jewels on it.
mhm,
So what's coming to me is, um, and this is something I'm going to do for myself as well. Um, get a mirror and decorate it. Put what at beads, jewels, whatever, rhinestones. Get a plain mirror and decorate it. One of those mirrors that you can hold in your hand and look at yourself. Don't look at all of the things that might not be to your liking. Like for me, when I look at myself, I look a little bit different than when I'm younger, than when I was younger. A little bit different, but essentially the same. So don't look at the things, oh, but I see a wrinkle here. Oh, but my face used to be up like this, get a mirror and adorn. it so that when you look at the mirror, stare into your own eyes.
Mm.
Stare into your own eye. Don't say, oh, but my eyes should be this. No, stare into your own eyes while you are breathing, and it will be revealed to you your beauty. Those are the two things that came up. The other thing, I have one final thing. Yes, 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 Sister Sabrina.
Yeah,
And I
that
heard this
was,
a long time ago, and I did it a long time ago when I was living alone. Get a full length mirror in your privacy and look at
mhm,
your
yes,
nude,
absolutely.
naked self. Look at yourself. Do
Mm-hmm.
not look at yourself to criticize yourself about this is too big. This is this. Look at yourself. So when I talked about that period of time, I talked about the trauma, but now I'm remembering some of the things that I did to heal from it.
Yeah.
That I spent time. I used ylang ylang. All I used quartz crystals. I remember I had correct me if I'm wrong, Sister Aj, but this is what's coming up. At the time, I had Heru on the wall. Someone had told me that Heru, her colors being green and yellow, were someone told me the same as a
Mm-hmm.
shroom. So my attention at the time is that I had this poster of Heru to remind me of the essence of beauty on the heart. So that's what's coming through. That
Mm.
as we as whatever comes up for you that might have been traumatic, that now that we are grown, intentionally take time to celebrate the beauty inside of you. Think of yourself as a queen and ask yourself, since I am this queen, how might I adorn myself
Mm-hmm.
and be ready to receive the answer?
Because mirror work is really reflectionary work.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's all about self-reflection. What is
Mhm.
your reflection? So when you talk about adornment, adore is one of our sweet spot sisters because a lot of times we as women adore a lot of things, but a lot of times in our community right now in these days, we don't adore ourselves and we don't adore each other. And that's where we're having a disconnection at. You cannot value things, adore things, and not adore yourself because the value is you. The value is you. The value is us. The true value, the true currency is us. It's not a diamond. It's not, you know, a lot of money. It's really us. We are really the true currency and the real value. And so self-reflection mirror work is a great exercise.
Mhm.
Uh, I remember when I had the big sweet spot, we had a round bed and we took everything out of the round bed and we had the artist create a mirror in the bed.
Wow.
And we had a reflection of a
Mhm.
woman of when she looks into a pond of water
Wow.
and
Mhm.
she sees the reflection in the water. And we had women sit around the bed, before we would do our ceremony to just see what they reflected upon. How do you adore yourself?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it's very key that you brought that word up because that's not a word that we sit with a lot, is adore.
Yeah. Mhm.
But yes, adore is one of our sweet spot sisters because we as women have to adore ourselves. We have to.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I appreciate that when we give thanks.
Ooh. Give thanks. Give thanks. And I give thanks just for all that has been expressed during this time that we have shared with all of you. I give thanks for um, you know, I would say being able to talk about this trauma. I also feel victory over it,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I am so grateful that through meditation was the starting point that led me to these other modalities. It was
Mm-hmm.
more than likely after meditation that I got the idea to do the mirror work, because I would always have these ideas. And I remember there was one period of time I wasn't in a relationship, and I decided that every Friday night was going to be date night for me. But the date night was some type of spiritual ritual that I created. I just allowed spirit, maybe it would start off with a bath, and I put essential oils and flowers in the bath. And I'm getting a memory of one time when I did that, and I decided to make my whole apartment be lit in candles so that when I came
Mm.
out of the bath, you know, and then I remembered that I chose that I was going to wrap myself in white, wrap my head in white, wrap my body in white. And I sat down, I believe, and did some journal work, laid some crystals on myself. I didn't um, get stuck in, oh, I have to go somewhere, fry, oh, I'm not with anybody, I gave that time to myself, and that time helped to heal me and unpack and, be able to become who I am today. So I'm saying give time to yourself. Make time for your beautiful rituals that tap into your inner self, not only how you adorn yourself physically, but how you go within and tap
Yes.
into the adornment and the regal beauty that's already within you.
Beautiful.
So, this,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
we have come through another wonderful session. Thank you so much. Absolutely, Barbara. Yep, time for yourself and to love up on yourself. That's right.
Yes.
Um,
So important.
so we've come to, another time where we are going to wrap up. We thank you so much
Thank you.
for um, being part of the live stream. We also want to thank those who find this live stream as a recording, because you all should know, we have to, Sister Ajay and I have to give thanks to answered prayer, because we do meditate together and we do pray, so all that came through us, we give thanks to our ancestors
That's
for
right.
speaking through us during this time. And if you want to contact Sister Ajay and myself after we go off the screen, there will be a flyer that you can click the QR code um, to contact either one of us. Um, oh, this has been another wonderful, you know, another wonderful hour, another wonderful session. Because I'm
Yes.
surprised what came. I'm surprised what came up out of my own, healing, and grateful that I was able
Yes.
to share those very traumatic things, very traumatic, but also share some things that I did to shift um, that trauma and to really
Yes.
step into, even very recently, I'm very recently, I decided to call myself only Shashette New. That's actually a beauty ritual.
Mm.
I thought
Okay.
about, hmm, well, I like myself as my name, but what qualities do I really want to attract and vibrate now?
Mm.
And some of the things that I ask myself, since this is recent within the last 2 months, is I say, now I know what Glenda would do, but what would only Shachette do? And that's a much higher vibration.
Yes,
So
I share.
the beauty can come up in many different ways. So
Awesome.
I want to say good night to
Yes.
everyone. Good
Thank
night,
you.
Sister
Thank you.
Aj. Thank you for a wonderful meditation
Give
and for your
thanks.
sharing. Thank you, everyone who commented. Sister Sabrina, Sister Barbara, thank you.
Thank
We got
you.
to give a big thank you to Sister Nayo. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister
Uh,
Naya.
we're just going to bid you a good night. So I
Yes.
look
Peace and
forward
blessings.
to maybe hearing about some of your beauty your
Affirmations.
affirmations and revelations.
Yes.
All right.
And confirmations.
And confirmations
And manifestations.
and definitely manifestations. Thank you. All right.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. See you next week.
Give thanks.
Not too late to conversate, to put a smile upon thy face. It's not too late to recognize we're all one people, we're all one mind. Yeah, we need to stop all the violence and all the separation. Spread love and peace all across the nation. Cause we got to live together, yeah. And we won't survive if we don't help each other. We don't need no more hate through generations. We need to practice more unification. So why can't we make it right for life? So we can all survive. And if we could all just learn to love one another, no one else would suffer. We're all in it together. No matter who's against us, no matter who's for us, our voices would be louder. No one could ignore us. The world would be different, and more would be gifted. Not where they drifted. There's so many mystic, with so many stuck in their